สวัสดีครับ Hi, you're watching Hello English, your English program. I'm your host, Bukrit Rairat. Today, we'll be taking a trip to the Kam Tieng House Museum, which is a traditional Lana Thai house, also known as a Gala house. And it's 100 years old, and it's an ethnological museum. So let's go now and take a look in English magazine.
Today, we're visiting the Kam Tieng House Museum, a traditional Lana Thai house known as Galea House. It is more than 100 years old and is an ethnological museum to preserve Lana art.
ครับสำหรับเรือนคำเที่ยงนะครับเป็นเรือนไม้นะครับของภาคเหนือหรือที่เราเรียกว่าเรือนล้านนานะครับจะเรียกว่าเรือนทรงกาแลนะครับเรือนคำเที่ยงนี้จัดตั้งเป็นพิพิธภัณฑ์ทางชาติพันธุ์วรรณาหรือว่าพิพิธภัณฑ์ทางมนุษยวิทยานั่นเองนะครับผมขออนุญาตเท้าความก่อนว่าแต่เดิมนะครับเรือนคำเที่ยงนี้เนี่ยไม่ได้ตั้งอยู่ที่ใจกลางอโศกที่สยามสมาคมนะครับแต่ว่าอยู่ที่ริมแม่น้ำปิงจังหวัดเชียงใหม่นะครับเรือนคำเที่ยงนะครับแต่เดิมนะครับเป็นเจ้าของนางแซดผู้ที่สร้างเรือนนะครับนางแซดนะฮะเป็นชาวไทยลื้อจากแคว้น12ปันนาที่โดนกวาดต้อนมาที่เชียงใหม่นะครับเมื่อได้สร้างเรือนคำเที่ยงในปี2391นะครับแล้วก็ลูกหลานของนางแซดเนี่ยก็ได้ใช้ชีวิตอาศัยอยู่บนเรือนสืบทอดมาจนกระทั่งปี2506นะครับลูกหลานของนางแซดที่ชื่อว่านางกิมฮอนิมมานเหมินนะฮะก็ได้ตัดสินใจที่จะอุทิศนะครับบริจาคเรือนคำเที่ยงแห่งนี้ให้กับทางสยามสมาคมเพื่อเป็นประโยชน์ในการอนุรักษ์แล้วก็ศึกษาสถาปัตยกรรมล้านนานั่นเองนะครับสำหรับเรือนคำเที่ยงนะครับเราจะแบ่งออกเป็น3ส่วนหลักๆด้วยกันนะครับส่วนแรกก็คืออาคารหลักหรือว่าเป็นอาคารที่ใช้ที่อยู่อาศัยนะครับก็จะมีแบ่งออกเป็น3ส่วนย่อยด้วยกันนะครับก็จะเป็นส่วนแรกก็จะเป็นชานนะครับหรือว่าเป็นพื้นที่ใช้ทำกิจกรรมนอกหลังคานะครับส่วนที่2ก็จะเป็นส่วนที่เรายืนอยู่ตรงนี้นะครับเรียกว่าเตินนะครับเป็นพื้นที่ที่อยู่ภายใต้หลังคาส่วนที่3จะเป็นส่วนของห้องนอนนะครับก็จะเป็นส่วนที่สมาชิกในครอบครัวเนี่ยใช้ทำเป็นพื้นที่ในการทำกิจกรรมส่วนตัวนั่นเองนะครับอาคารถัดมานะครับจะเป็นยุ้งฉางนะครับก็จะเป็นอาคารที่ไว้สำหรับเก็บพืชผลทางการเกษตรของครอบครัวนะครับส่วนถัดไปนะครับจะเป็นส่วนด้านล่างของเรือนคำเที่ยงจะเรียกว่าเป็นส่วนจัดแสดงนะครับวิถีชีวิตของชาวล้านนาแล้วก็จะมีอุปกรณ์ในการดำรงชีพนะครับเป็นอุปกรณ์ต่างๆทำจากเครื่องไม้นะครับ
The Kam Tieng House Museum is a traditional Lana house known as a Galea house. With one story raised on stilts. These are the main parts of the house. First is the open veranda, high up from the yard, a multi-purpose area to receive visitors, relax, or eat. When you walk in, you will see exhibits like this Baisi arrangement, which is made for ceremonies to call a guardian spirit or to express supreme respect, then offered to a Buddha image or senior monk. Looking up to the roof, you'll see on the ceiling there's a screen made of bamboo or hard wood to keep a ceramic water jug on. The next part is where women sat to work and the men came out to chat, play music or joke. If any couple hit it off, they could get married. Before entering the bedroom, you'll see a beautifully carved wood panel above the doorway. It is to prevent any evil from entering there. Next, we'll look inside the bedroom. The left part of the bedroom is about men's activities, including mystic symbols and talismans to provide protection. There are other amulets and good luck charms to protect against enemies, wild animals and weapons. Lana men often got magic tattoos from their shoulders down to the waist. On exhibit are weapons of defence. The sword was the basic weapon handed down from a man's ancestors. On the right side are women's articles, such as jewellery that showed their status. According to Lana tradition, women owned and ruled each household. The house would be passed down to the youngest daughter along with the grandparent ghosts. There was an annual ritual to worship the ancestors. Lana women had to learn to weave cloth. They practiced with their mothers from childhood. Bedclothes are another thing Lana women had to learn to sew. Before a girl could marry and move out, she had to make a full set of bedclothes. Now let's look at the kitchen, which is separate from the rest of the house. You can see an old-fashioned cook stove, kitchenware, and some local food. The small building near the kitchen is the granary. Inside is an exhibition about growing rice and related beliefs. Lastly, on the ground floor are some basketry objects used for fishing and displays about the Lana way of life in the past.
ครับเป็นยังไงบ้างครับหลังจากที่เราได้เรียนรู้วิถีชีวิตของชาวล้านนาแล้วก็องค์ประกอบต่างๆของเรือนการแลกันไปแล้วนะครับก็อยากจะขอเรียนเชิญประชาชนทั่วไปนะครับและนิสิตนักเรียนนักศึกษานะครับเข้ามาเยี่ยมชมพิพิธภัณฑ์เรือนคำเที่ยงของเรานะครับตั้งอยู่ที่สยามสมาคมในพระบรมราชูปถัมภ์นะครับบริเวณ4แยกอโศกมนตรีซอยสุขุมวิท21นะครับพิพิธภัณฑ์เรือนคำเที่ยงนะครับจะเปิดตั้งแต่วันอังคารถึงวันเสาร์นะครับตั้งแต่ 9 โมงเช้าถึง 5 โมงเย็นเลยครับ
Wow, the Kam Tieng House is not only a beautiful place, but it's a great place to go and learn all about the Northern Thai culture. So if you get a chance to go, please bring the whole family. Up next, we'll meet with Nong Nalin Pon, who is only 18 years old, and she's fluent in English and Japanese, and she's a professional karuta player. Wow. So let's go to Tot now and meet her in English Club.
สวัสดีครับ Hello everyone, welcome to English Club. I'm Tosatham Piem Samboon. At the tender age of 18, we have a professional Karuta player with us who's also an expert when it comes to the Japanese language, and she's very fluent with her English as well. So we'll get to know more about this interesting Japanese game. So let's welcome today's special guest. Please welcome Nong Tang O. สวัสดีครับ So before we talk about Karuta, which is such an interesting game, could you please introduce yourself to our viewers?
สวัสดีค่ะ My name is Nalinporn Saprasit, or you can call me Tang O. I just graduated from Triamadom Success School and I'm beginning my freshman year at Law School G30 International Program at Nagoya University in Japan.
Right, so going to Japan soon, and just then I was tongue-tied because I have no idea what Karuta is. Could you please tell me about this game?
Karuta is a traditional Japanese card game. There are 100 cards and poems are written on each card.
Poems?
Japanese poems.
Right.
Yes, and there is a reciter and also a judge who will see who take the card first.
Talking about this game, is it collectible card games or just card games with decks?
So the simple deck.
Simple deck,
Yes.
like in poker and blackjack, all the
Yes.
decks are the same. Okay, so please go on.
And it is a one-on-one game in which each player randomly choose 25 out of 100 for each player.
Right.
And a reciter will read each poems and you will never know which the first poem is on which cards, and you have to remember all the cards and the position it is.
So basically, there's 100 cards, and all the poems for each one is the same, right? I mean, like, there's 100 poems, 100 cards, but all the poems for each player, each time is the same, right?
Each time is the same, but in a game it's different for each 100 cards.
Oh, right. So talking about this game, how do you beat your opponent?
When a reciter read a poem, I have to see where it is and take it as fast as I can.
Oh, right.
Yes. And a game you end when a winner has no card left.
So you're supposed to take the other person's card, right?
Yes, also my side too.
Protect your card as
Yes,
well.
also protect my card and take any card that is read by a reciter.
Right, so that's very interesting. And talking about this game, is it based on luck or skills, or what do you think?
5% luck and 95% memorizing skill.
Okay, so how did you got into this game? Because Karuta is not yet popular in Thailand, right? Talk about this game. How did you get into it? Who influenced you?
I joined Japanese Expo 2017 in Siam Paragon, and I saw Karuta demonstration in a seminar room. So I go in and try 2 or 3 times, and I found very fun and challenging. Yes. So that day I became a member of Bangkok Karuta Club.
So what was it about this game that made you fall in love with it?
In fact, I love memorizing, and this game I have to memorize all 100 poems written on each card, and it's very challenging, and I love that.
So as you play more and more, you start to memorize the poems as well, right?
Yes. Now I don't have to memorize anymore because I memorize it, so I have to just
Be quick, right?
Be quick and memorize the like a position of each card. In each games, the position will change.
Oh, I see.
It depends on each player's decision which position I will put this card on.
Sounds like such an interesting game and requires a lot of memory as well. So if you want to play Karuta, do you have to know the Japanese language?
Just a basic alphabet, like hiragana.
So just the basic is enough, right?
Yeah, basic is enough. You can read like each card only a basic alphabet written.
Well, obviously you know a lot of Japanese as well. So apart from Karuta, we know how you got into that game and it has developed to become not just a hobby, but your career as well. Talking about your Japanese skills, where did you learn Japanese and why Japanese?
When I was in grade 10, my senior's father, who is a Japanese teacher, came to school and teach Japanese for free after class. He has a unique way of teaching Japanese, so I really love that. But in fact, I just follow my friend to study Japanese, but didn't have an interest in Japanese at all. But after that, my friends quit, and just only me left with another seniors, and I became to learning Japanese after that.
So basically, your friends quit while you still continue to learn
Yes,
to become fluent right now.
My friends was bored.
So, since you know Japanese, okay, can we listen to some Japanese? You can say anything at all.
Okay. 今朝早く起きてここに行ってとても眠いですけどこの番組を行くチャンスがあってとても嬉しいです。
So what did you say just then?
Like in the morning, I have to get up early to came here, and I have an opportunity to come to this
Program?
So I'm very, very pleased.
Okay,
Yes.
we're very pleased to have you here as well. And talking about the game Karuta, is it a really popular game in Japan or is it just a normal game?
It's very popular in Japan, and in Japan it's very competitive. There are competition every month in each province, and also Zenkoku Taikai, or like all countries.
Right. So it's a very popular game in Japan, but not yet recognized in Thailand that much, right?
Yes.
Can you talk about the awards that you won when competing Karuta? Because we know it's not just a hobby for you anymore. It has developed to become a career, even though you know it for less than a year, right? So what kind of awards did you win?
First of all, my Japanese Karuta coach told me to go to the competition after I know Karuta for 2 months, and I won first place of F class, F division for Thailand Karuta competition. Yes.
So you won nationally in Thailand, right?
Yes.
Do you have any dreams of going to Japan and winning the world champs?
Oh, after I go to Japan this year, I will participate in many competitions for sure. And in Japan, the first place for Karuta is divided into two parts, like for men and for women. Yes, for men it's called Meijin, and for women it's called Queensen. So it's the first place and a dreaming position for Karuta players.
So basically, by going to Japan, is one of the reasons because you play Karuta as a career, or is it because you are interested in learning more Japanese language? Or even both?
Both, because I love learning in Japanese environment, which will push me to the next step of leadership and in a good environment to study.
Let's pause talking about Japanese and also Karuta right there. Let's move on to English. Your English is very fluent. How did you develop your English skills?
When I was in primary school, my English sucks, and I don't have an opportunity to talk in English at all. And my mother said, go to English program school, and I begin to study at Yotin Bruna School English programs, which allows me to not only communicating in English, but for academic matters as well.
Which is really good. And for Thai kids, how do you think they can develop their English skills? Do you think it's compulsory to go to English program school? What is, in your opinion, how can they develop?
Going to English program school is like another way of practicing English. I don't think studying English in a compulsory 12 years of education will help. No, that will not help. I think like when you learn Thai, you learn from mother, you learn from father, Thai environment. You should change it to English environment, like talk to your mom, your dad in English, and make it like your own native language. That will help a lot.
So surround yourself with English, right?
Yes.
Surround yourself with English constantly. Okay, this is really interesting. And now, can you talk about your future plans? What do you plan to do next in the foreseeable future?
Like I said earlier, I'm going to study law school, and I have an special interest in refugee issues. I want to work in UNSCR or like a United Nations for working with refugees, which is an uprising conflicts nowadays, not only in Southeast Asia but also around the world.
Wow, which is really interesting. Apart from being a professional Karuta card player, working to help others and high-ranked UN. Wow, amazing, United Nations. Okay, and just before we go, can you please give the people with this program some motivation that it's okay to be interested in any hobby, even though it's not very popular here. If you fall in love with it, just go for it. Please give them some motivation right now.
No matter what you like, you have to do it, continue to do it. You don't know when it's going to be so popular in the near future, and you don't know that in the future how much it will benefit your life. And study in English or also Japanese will help you open a wide range of opportunities in this world, like making friends, get high wage salary in working, and you will see what it's going next after you do what you love.
Basically, just do what you love. It doesn't matter how popular it is, and any skill is also good, right? Any
Yes.
skill at all.
You never know, it will benefit you in the future.
Absolutely, and it can turn into career like you as well. Okay, น้องตั้งโอ thank you very much ขอบคุณมากๆนะครับ Alright, so there you go. Just go for it. If you fall in love with it, learn anything, it can benefit you in the future, and a hobby can become a career if you fall in love with it as well. But we're out of time, so we'll see you next time. สวัสดีครับ
Nong Nalin Pon is such a talented young lady. Not only is she fluent in many languages, but she is an expert Karuta player. You really must have a great memory for that. Keep up the great work. Up next is time for English Corner. Let's see what Ajahn Pui and Ajahn Kip have for us today.
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
ขอต้อนรับคุณผู้ชมทุกท่านเข้าสู่ English Corner ค่ะ ดิฉันปุ๋ยสิตาค่ะ
กิฟจิตตสุพังค์ค่ะ พี่ปุ๋ยค่ะ
ค่ะ
วันนี้อากาศข้างนอกร้อนมากเลยค่ะ
ค่ะ ร้อนมากค่ะน้อง
แต่
กิ๊
แบบนี้เขาเรียกร้อนอบอ้าวค่ะ เหมือนว่าฝนจะตก แล้วกิฟก็ไม่ได้เอาร่มมา ถ้าฝนตกต้องแย่แน่ๆเลยค่ะ
แดดร้อนเหมือนฝนจะตกแล้วกิ๊บก็ไม่ได้เอาร่มมาค่ะ
ค่ะ แล้วกิฟก็เพิ่งไปทานข้าวร้านหนึ่งมา ไม่โอเคเลยนะคะพี่ปุ๋ย
ค่ะ
รอนานมากๆ แค่สั่งน้ำเนี่ยเป็น10 นาทีเลยนะคะ
หรอคะ
พออาหารมานะเค็มมากก็ไก่ร้านตัวทานแทบไม่ได้
เค็มมากด้วยค่ะ
ใช่ค่ะแล้วกิฟก็ไปไปรษณีย์หลังจากนั้นพี่ปุ๋ยอย่าไปไปรษณีย์วันนี้เด็ดขาดเลยนะคะ คิวยาวมากเป็นงูขดเป็นงูเลยค่ะ
โอเค
ค่ะ
you are driving me nuts
คะพี่ปุ๋ยเป็นถั่วเหรอคะถั่วหลายเม็ดด้วยมีเติม
น้อง
เอ
กิ๊
ส
บคะ
ค่ะ
you are driving me nuts แปลว่าคุณทำให้ฉันหงุดหงิด อารมณ์เสีย โมโหมาก ถึงขนาดจะคว้างปาเข้าของอะไรอย่างนี้ได้แล้วอะค่ะ
driving someone nuts แปลว่าทำให้หงุดหงิดทำให้โมโหมากใช่ไหมคะ
ใช่ค่ะ ในการบ่นของน้องกิฟเนี่ยอาจจะ driving someone nuts ได้ค่ะ เอาละค่ะคุณผู้ชมคะปุ๋ยกับกิฟขอตัวลาไปก่อนนะคะ กลับมาพบกันใหม่กับ English Corner ครั้งหน้า วันนี้สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
Well, I hope you all enjoyed today's show, but unfortunately, it's all the time that we have. If you have any comments or suggestions you would like to give us, please send them to the address on the screen. I'm your host, บูเกรดไตรรัตน์ See you next time on Hello English. สวัสดีครับ